So I wanted to get straight into this. So you're a burlesque singer, dancer, and coach. So for those people who are listening and don't know what that is, so what is it? Can you give us a description of what that is?
Yes, of course. So burlesque is kind of art, and it's included that we make our costumes ourselves. We create acts, so the act can be very funny or it can be political. You tell a story, and there are the classical acts, what the most people know, with the beautiful feathers and glamour and the stockings, peels. But there are also a lot of modern acts, which are there are different kind of like nerdlesque, queerlesque, and so I call it neo-modern acts. What
Okay.
is, you can put everything what you want on you.
Okay. So what sort of like coaching do you do? Do you do coaching for the people who are just about to go into the industry, or do you teach people who have been in the industry for a long time? So what sort of people do you coach?
So I'm coaching like in two different ways. So I have on the one side the people who are doing maybe a hen party and just want to have fun for a day and
Okay.
just dance, have fun. And the other side is I'm also mentoring and coaching. So it's really for the industry. We go into the acts, we refine them. I make workshops which are showing the differences between a showgirl, a dancer, and a burlesque. And I also do self-confidence workshops.
Okay. Oh wow.
So
Okay.
that's the main thing.
Okay. And you've judged, haven't you, at festivals?
Yes.
Yeah. So where have you done that?
So I was in different festivals and shows. I have my own big festival in Croatia. It's 3 days
Okay.
long. It's the Croatian Burlesque Cabaret Festival, where I'm also judging. But I was also in France, in Poland, and in different countries. So regionals for the Olympic Solid Gold, which is the biggest worldwide competition of all arts, not just burlesque.
Okay.
So it's different. So also in Italy and different festivals in UK. So I'm
Okay.
very international.
I can tell. Yeah, you've been like all around Europe. So what sort of stuff are you looking for when you're judging? Are you looking for the costume? Are you looking for the performance itself? What sort of things are you judging that person on?
I am known as the, I don't know if I can tell that, he is an asshole,
Okay.
but
Cool.
I'm a but I'm a lovely one.
Right. Okay.
So
Cool.
I'm very, very straight. But I'm staying fair. So
Okay.
it's different criteria I'm looking for. So I'm looking for the personality. The makeup is really important for me.
Okay.
It has to fit to the costume. The costume itself, is it prepared? Is it changed? Is it self-made? Or what have the performer made of the costume?
Okay.
Is it very unique? And dancing, so there are different, the creativity of the acts and the presentation of the acts. We had now a big festival put together of Americans and Italians, and it's one of the first online festivals where I was judging too. So I also looked how was the stage presence, but there was no stage. There was living rooms or gardens, and
Yeah.
I watched how they work with the background in the where they are.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay. So was that online? Did you say or?
Yes, this
Uh,
festival was online because the lockdown came.
yeah.
So yeah, we tried to find some opportunities to still perform because it's our passion.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. So you started like 20 years ago, did you say? So how long have you been
um,
doing it?
yeah, I'm more than 24 years in the show
Wow.
business. So I started much more longer. So, but you know, I'm every year 25, so I can't tell you really
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, I was very early on stage as a singer. I started with my rock band,
Okay.
and we toured around the city and the cities around. And then I go on. I was in the show branch, so it's like a dancer and a show dancer, always singing with it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a few years. Oh, I can't tell you how long. Maybe 7, 8 years. I'm really started to concentrate more on burlesque, and before 6 years, I pushed everything away and started really to just be in the burlesque cabaret scene where I'm performing and producing and now teaching. Yeah.
Oh wow. So what has changed from since you started to how it is now? So is there any differences or is there any similarities between when you started to how it is now?
Yeah, it changed a few little things. So it's when you watch me in my beginnings, where I was like around 15 years when I
Yeah.
started standing on stage, I wear skull t-shirts
Okay.
and I was by rock metal girl. What I am still. So I'm still in three worlds. So I'm in
Yeah.
the rocker, the grande dame, and yeah, kind of normal, but yeah, I'm not really normal. But
Okay.
it changed a lot in my way to perform, in my style. So this is my normal style. So when I go on stage, this part it's much more bigger, big lashes. So you will nearly always see this.
Okay.
It's also, and yeah, I started more in production, and you know, you always change a little bit and you
Yeah.
always learn. You never stop learn, because then yeah. So
Of
it's,
course.
yeah, the style and yeah.
Of course. Yeah, yeah. No. So what sort of characters do you do? Because I saw that you do a Victorian sort of character. What other characters do you do, and where does the inspiration come from?
Yeah, so I'm specialized more on two two characters. So what is really straight
Okay.
and honest and really,
Like serious.
and yeah, very serious. Thank you, that's the words I'm searching
Yeah.
for. And the second one is I'm called the face, because I'm working a lot with face expressions,
Okay.
and I'm also doing the comedy part, but not like stupid comedy. It's still straight, it's still the grown down performing, but um, you with the faces, it's very funny, and I'm telling my stories more with the face. So it's the funny and the straight part.
Okay. Cool. Can you work with like different people doing burlesque? So can you? Is it always by yourself, or can you work with other people?
Yes, you can. There are some troops, so
Okay.
it's 2 or 3 or 5 people. Um, when I'm preparing a show, then I invite different performers
Okay.
and put the show together. Um, yeah, or I can do it by myself. There are some performers, they have a one-man show, so it's really different. It's a combination, so you can do whatever you want. So the good thing is, if you are a burlesque, you decide what you do, and
Okay.
everything is open. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. So you mentioned your festival that you hold in the 3-day festival in Croatia. So what is that
Mhm.
about, and what do you do in those 3 days?
Yeah, it's this year it should be the fourth time. It's always in May,
Okay.
the third weekend in May. So, but Corona, so it will be now. It's September, and it's on a ship. It's going
Wow.
sailing. It's a
Okay.
hotel, so it's always on the same space, but it's on a ship. And 3 days, we are starting, no, it's like unofficial 4 days. So on the Wednesday evening, we start all together with a traditional dinner where all the performers, photographers, the crew, headliners, everybody's meeting. We have a lovely evening together. And then there are really 3 days full of workshops, come together, and shootings. We have a marketplace where different performers or stall holders bring handmade accessoires, costumes, masks, and everything what you can put in the branch or is interesting, or head pieces. And of course the shows, and the show is a competition. So we are looking for the best of burlesque, best of classy burlesque, best of modern, and we have a category what is known named World of Diversity.
Okay.
And World of Diversity, because that's the cabaret part, everybody can apply. So like belly dancers, jugglers, everything what is not typical burlesque. And this is then the World of Diversity Award. And yeah, it's me, and it's always the surprise festival.
Yeah.
And so we have always 2 or 3 crowns more. So if we see there is a very, very good comedy act or a incredible, beautiful costume, we will crown that too.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it's a big come together, and it's not just Europe. People from everywhere are coming. It's from the US, and fingers crossed for the colleague from Cape Town who wants to come this year.
Wow.
So it's the whole world meets in Croatia, in tiny Croatia, and we have a great time together. We learn from each other, inspire, meet, perform, and just enjoy what we love. So
that's incredible. Wow. So you mentioned earlier about burlesque, sorry, modern burlesque and classical burlesque. So what's the difference between the three? Because I don't know much about it, so I'm learning here as well. So what's the difference between the three?
So the classic burlesque is more the music. It's never a modern music. It's always the music till the 50s, 60s.
Okay.
And it's mostly with the feathers, and you have the stocking peel, the gloves. So it's
Okay,
always the glamour and the crystals, the glitter, and the elegant, or so that's the classic thing what everybody knows, like the classic burlesque. Then we have modern burlesque, which are so much different categories that I still can't keep them all. So that's why I'm saying always neo burlesque.
Okay.
Some people will hate me if I put everything in neo burlesque, because it isn't. It's different kind of stuff. But so let's say modern burlesque. What can have, like, one example, nerdlesque.
Okay.
What is like doing maybe Star Wars or something of the comic
wow, okay.
heroes. And but in modern burlesque you can be like everything. You know, there is a gorilla dancing and peeling the clothes off, and there is in the gorilla is a beautiful lady who's from the jungle. Or I have a very modern act which is called the modern Cinderella act. So she's coming in poor clothes and fell in love with a young man, and he don't want her because he's chic and she have not enough money. She's not the standard he wants to show, so he's ashamed to. So he tell her to go and hang herself and just go from my eyes. And then she decided to change, and she worked hard, and then poof, the costume changed. It's a beautiful dress.
Yeah.
So it's a political theme. The other lady make a Euro act when about the Brexit. So, and it's also a metal act. So it's really different. So modern is everything what is modern music, and not the classic costume with the glitter and feathers and yeah. So
Okay.
you can put nearly everything in a burlesque act.
Yeah. No, because you just mentioned like with the Star Wars, and I didn't know you could do that. That's incredible. That's
Yeah,
I've learned something new today. There we go.
there is a very, very, very great performer. She's called Magenta Last.
Okay.
And she's working with a great costumier, Caged Crinoline, and she is performing as R2D2, as the small
Wow.
robot.
Okay.
And she's really coming like the robot and doing the show like the robot. Then she removed that costume, what is the robot, and performed done. So it's really, there's no limits. Yeah, so it's also big props, like vampire shows, and then they open the coffin and then she's coming outside.
Yeah.
And of course we have also men, which is boylesques.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's no limits. You can really do everything.
That's amazing. So what would a like typical day look like for you? So if you're performing in the evening, so say if you're on stage at 9, what would your day look like? Would you arrive at the venue at like 6 or 7 to get ready? What's the process around getting ready? Because obviously the outfits are very flamboyant and they're very out there. So it must take a lot of time to get ready and get prepared.
Yeah, I'm strange, but I'm always like a bit strange and different. So if I have a performance, I really don't do a lot on this day. I do everything what I can do at home.
Okay.
And I start very early to pack my stuff. I prepare everything of my costumes. I prepare the day before. So I'm not going in stress, because if I want to rest a little bit, so I can rest. And then I start very early. So I am always preparing the most of the makeup at home. I prepare the hair at home, because sometimes I don't know how big is the backstage, if it's enough space for us all to get ready. So I prefer my light, I have everything what I need. And so I prepare the most stuff, and then I change my eyeshadows and the lipstick, add a little bit of glitter, so I have always the glitter lips. Of course, I love glitter. I'm Madame Glitter. And so I start very early. I start with a Croatian coffee.
Okay.
Making on the oven, like it's Turkish coffee, but with Croatian coffee in.
Yeah.
And then I start preparing. I did go shower, shaving.
So what time would that be then? So if you start at 9, what time would you start getting ready and start getting prepared?
I start getting prepared. So it's depends how long I have to drive to the venue. So if I'm in the hotel, which is close to the venue because it's somewhere else in the world,
Yeah.
then I start to prepare. But I'm always like 2-3 hours before, sometimes 4 hours before, because we have a rehearsal. So everybody's making a sound check, checking with the stage kittens, which are doing the preparation on the stage. So I show them where to place my props. I show the DJ where is the position I start. I talk with the light man what is possible to do, what kind of lights we do for my act. So I'm nearly, if it's 9 o'clock stage time, we are already, everybody is in the backstage. When the audience is coming in, we are already there. and then we are 1 or 2 hours. So if people are coming at 7, so we are there at 5,
Okay.
because we do the rehearsal. So I start like, I'm sorry, I start like 1, at least
Wow.
2, to prepare myself, to pack everything together and go to the venue. Yeah.
That's incredible. So wow, so that's like almost 8 hours before you're on stage. That's incredible.
Yeah, there are some performers doing it right, preparing everything there, but I prefer to get ready to the venue and then just put the costumes on, because you have to stick the nipple pasties, you have to put everything on. Sometimes you have to paint your face for a special act. And this is then the things I'm doing at the venue, and putting the big lashes,
Yeah.
because it's always this kind of hair. And then just outside, I have very long lashes. So I'm putting them on in the venue, because the sunglasses are not possible to wear with these lashes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and sometimes people are looking really strange. So if I have to go to the petrol station quickly, go to pay, and then they're like, what the hell? Who's coming to pay full of glitter and everything?
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's me, because I don't want to be stressed. So I'm celebrating the day, everything slowly, to don't get in stress. But at the end, I always get in stress, because I find something I have to change, or whatever. But it's fine. I'm always mostly too early on the place we have to be.
Yeah, it's better to be early than late, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So just to like wrap this up, I wanted to ask you 3 questions about the past, present, and future. So we'll start off with the past. What advice would you give a 15-year-old Celeste De Moriae? So what would you say to her?
Yeah, that was the time when I was starting going on stage. So I definitely would tell her to go and get singing lessons, not years later.
Yeah.
Directly start with the singing lessons, and also learn much more for the school, and don't be somewhere in the garden with friends during school time. That means not that I was never at school, but there was these days,
Yeah.
it was sunny, and we was somewhere. So learn much more, and start very early to make exercises in flexibility.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely. So moving on to the present. So you've got a dinner party, and you can invite 3 people, and they can be anybody you want. So they can be a celebrity, non-celebrity, family member, non-family member, dead, alive, anybody you want, Celeste. So who would you invite? So invite, which 3 people would you go for?
That's tough, because luckily I don't have to choose just 3, but if I have to choose 3, I will bring back my uncle, who is died long years ago, much too young. We made a lot of things together, and we was really nerds, collecting comics and doing things. So I would love to have him back on my table.
Yep.
And one person I don't want to miss is my beloved friend and big sister, a legend from France. Her name is Miss Botero. I adore her. We get really good friends. At the end, we are calling each other big. So I'm the little sister. She's my big sister. So I love her, and sometimes we are not the same meaning, but we still understand and respect each other, and it's so uncomplicated. So she will be also on the table. And this third one will be, let me think.
Who
I
would you
think
go
I
for?
would choose to have a good mix, which is also great to have. It's Winnie D is my very good friend from Amsterdam, from the
Okay.
Netherlands. And she's also doing all my stage management. She's my producer colleague. And in Croatia, she's a part of my brain
Yeah.
because she helped me. She knows what I want and she's doing a lot. And we are good friends and we are, yeah, it just fits to each other. And yeah, so I think this would be the 3 persons if I have to choose, but it's bad because I don't want to
Yeah.
choose. There are so
It's
much
difficult.
people around the world
Yeah.
who I never want to miss.
Yeah, definitely. So you've got your uncle, you've got Miss Botero, if I said that right,
Yeah. Yes.
and Winnie
Yeah.
from
Winnie
Amsterdam.
D.
Winnie D, there we go.
Yes.
And we got you. So just the last question, just to wrap up. This is a question about the future. So where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? So what do you think you'll be doing in 2030?
You have to know I am somebody who is going with the head through the wall and I want to do a lot of things. So I see myself definitely in the burlesque scene
Okay.
because we are not throwing our older people away. We celebrate legends. So I will still perform, maybe a bit different as now. Because I have also different illnesses what are not visible. So, but still, I will still perform. And the most thing what I go into, I'm studying journalism. I
Okay.
started now. And so I will produce definitely. I will open a school in Croatia. And so I see myself really as producer, coach, mentor, and yeah, sometimes I also will perform, and I would love to have a little magazine about
Okay.
the show scene, which is specified to variety and burlesque cabaret stuff. So yeah, to write, produce, teach, and perform. Yes, definitely. It will be refined what I'm doing now. It will be refined. And I'm sure you will hear from me.
I can't wait. I can't think of a perfect way to end. Thank you so much, Celeste.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.